On January of 2021, the Toronto Catholic District School Board removed the Youthline link from its site, its school board website, and they faced a considerable amount of backlash from this for this decision, because the decision was made on the basis of they'd actually taken a look at the kind of material that was on Youthline, and it shocked them. So they immediately removed the link. They contacted Youthline, and of course Youthline went into high gear to lobby for them to reinstate the link to their site.
One of Ontario's largest school boards is facing criticism over a decision to remove a support group's website from its resource list for students.
The website aimed at helping LGBTQ youth. CTV's Sean Leithong has the story.
A decision by the Toronto Catholic District School Board to remove a website from their resource page has frustrated some in the LGBTQ+ community.
Frankly, I'm just tired of how often queer communities have to prove that it's okay for kids to know about us, and that we're not trying to we're not trying to harm them.
The website is called LGBT Youthline. They've been active for 25 years and include a hotline aimed at supporting youth who may feel isolated about their sexuality. Last Friday, Executive Director Burka Gupta received an email from the school board saying that according to them, there is a section of their website that had inappropriate material and that the school board had to take your link out of our website. Gupta says the link is about sexual health information.
My assumption is that it's related to the sexual content or the level of knowledge that is being given around sexual relationships.
The email also linked to a publication called Courrier Canadese with an article written by Joe Volpe saying LGBT Youthline is a smut site and saying that it is a recruitment site operated by a self-professed LGBTQ+ umbrella organization to attract children that operates province-wide.
We recruit youth all year round to develop skills, strengthen the sense of self, and become peer leaders in their communities. But I think that Joe was going for something else there.
The school board said they've known about the content since the Christmas break and wanted to open a conversation.
And so we wanted an opportunity to connect with staff about the content, and so it was removed in order for us to have that conversation.
During the pandemic, Gupta says LGBT Youthline's traffic has seen a large increase in youth seeking help. Some LGBTQ+ activists say that removing the site simply sends the wrong message.
To take the content down is to admit fault and to say that there's something wrong with the content, and there's nothing wrong with the content. There's nothing wrong with talking about sexual health.
The Toronto Catholic District School Board says they plan to engage with LGBT Youthline with the purpose of eventually returning the website to their resource page. But Gupta says,
and they need to find a way to make sure that they're recognizing and taking accountability for the fact that they've indirectly supported homophobic, transphobic, racist rhetoric.
Gupta also says LGBT Youthline will engage in the conversation, but they will not be making any changes to their website. Sean Leithong, CTV News.
It's August 23rd, 2022, and I thought it would be good to revisit Youthline to see how it may have changed or if it hasn't since my expose of it. And I noticed logging into Youthline, calling it up, it still has the quick hide, which allows a student or a child to hide from the teacher or their parent that they're logging on to Youthline resources, whether they're at home or whether they're at school and have logged on to Youthline through the links provided or on school board websites. So basically that hasn't changed. I go in here to About Us and we go down to their mission, visions, and values. And I do notice that under their values, they have anti-oppression and anti-racism, which is becoming more and more evident in the official and unofficial curriculum of Ontario schools now, where a real negative view of the Canadian history is presented, where settlers are a group of oppressive people rather than a group of people who built up and basically laid the foundation of the country that we now have and we enjoy a high quality of life in. Then we go to the item 6, which is sex positive. And what does that really mean? Like, what is sex positive for Youthline? Well, again, we have to go and look at what they are promoting. So if we go up here to our programs and we go to their online resources, and we see they have a great many online resources. I'm just going to go to the sex, sexual health, and more. And here we see that they've got a trans men's safer sex guide, a Sexual Health Ontario phone chat line. Planned Parenthood figures very highly in here, and if we click on that link, we come to a dropped link in a sense, but we do have the Planned Parenthood site, and we can go up here. I'm interested in the sexual health activity book. Let's see what we get here. Yes, so we get to a page on the Supporting Newcomer Access Project Sexual Health Activity book, and so far no booklet yet, but this activity book was created as a part of the Supporting the Newcomer Access Project at Planned Parenthood Toronto. The ideas and images of this book were created and made by SNAP volunteers. And then we continue down this page before we get to the booklet, which I found using a Google search. So I'm going to look at some of this material that's available to kids from Planned Parenthood, all about butt stuff and anal play. And when you look at this, is this sex positive? Is this the sex positive that Youthline is championing here? Facts about anal play. Anyone can give, receive, and enjoy it. It's healthy and normal and can feel good. Ontario Public Health warns against fisting and using anal sexual activities that can tear and cause a lot of problems for people. They say it doesn't have to be messy. They give you a lot of information about the anatomy, and here they go, and it's for boys and girls according to this picture, and gives you lots of preparation and tips. And again, what educational value is there for Ontario schools and for the children? Now, the sexual activity book, I had to find it from a Google search, but it is available, still available. And again, it's tied into the Planned Parenthood. and you can download it, and if you do download it, you can take a look at the material that's available. And what disturbs me as a school principal and as a teacher, both at the elementary and high school levels, I've had 30 years experience, is the classroom readiness of this material for little children, for them to color these highly sexualized images and promote the gender ideology. This material, these worksheets could be used in kindergarten to grades 1, 2, possibly even 3. And then you've got these worksheets that talk about vibrators and dildos and sex toy picture matching. How is any of this educational? How does it teach kids what they need to know about safe and healthy sex and safe and healthy relationships between people? I do not know. Well, I do know it isn't. That's my opinion as an educator, that this material is worse than worthless. It could be damaging to children. So if we look at autostraddle, it seems to have been toned down a great deal. The soft porn pictures and racier stuff, it's more been changed to material that would be very alluring to preteen and young teenage girls. Again, a lot of it is a very dubious value, educational value, in my opinion, as a long-time educator in the Ontario system. Yeah, so that's changed a bit. It's not as blatant, possibly because they received a lot of flack on it. We move back, and then the Brazen Trans Women's Safer Sex Guide is still available, and if you download it, there's a site where it can be quickly downloaded. And if we look at that, we see that in the contents, they're quite shocking. This Trans Women's Safer Sex Guide, it's very shocking. If you look at the contents here, legalize me on sex work, pay me, fuck me, pardon my language. It just boggles my mind how any site could provide access to for children or young people for this kind of material. Like under this section, fuck me, the basics of fucking ass and vag, douching, sucking, licking, rimming, scissoring, fisting, fingering, and hand jobs, toys, and lube. My mouth feels dirty from just reading it. Doctors and me, surgery and me, and it goes into big dialogue on trans surgeries that there's no coming back from. And then inject me, needles and silicone and STIs. It's terrible, and it should not be made available for any site that purports to be serving youth. And that's my opinion as an educator. Then we go back to Youthline, and the trans men's primer, Trans Men's Safer Sex Guide. There's a dropped link there. page not found. So I don't know if they're changing their website or that things are changing and links are being updated. I think sometimes links get moved around to take the heat off them, because you write an article exposing this material and then the links that you use in your expose are then defunct, and then the people say, well, that link didn't work, so it must not have been in existence. But again, I don't know why that isn't available, but keep an eye out. It may pop up. So that's a brief expose. Things haven't changed much in Youthline, I don't believe. If anything, they've gotten a little slicker. I encourage parents and educators to do your own investigation. And when you do, here's some questions you should ask your school board trustees and your administrators. Does your school board provide links to the Youthline for students? Have students been referred to Youthline by school counselors, teachers, or administrators? What educational value does material like the Trans Women's Safer Sex Guide have for our young people? Given the nature of Youthline's promotion of this kind of material, how beneficial is their peer counseling service to any youth that access it? Has anyone in the school board vetted Youthline's peer counseling? If so, what are their findings?